Hey everybody, this is Bronson from CrossFit PCR, and today I wanted to introduce Dr. Dubin from Morrison Chiropractic. We're going to talk a little bit about low back pain, how to prevent it, what causes it, and some things that you can do if you are having issues to try to make it feel better, outside of going to see them so they can fix you. All right, Dr. Dubin?
So, the first thing we want to talk about is just what mechanical low back pain is. It's not necessarily an inflammatory issue where you have a lot of inflammation in your body, or necessarily a disc herniation. A lot of times it goes without saying that it's not always about like having a disc herniation or an impingement. Sometimes it can just be a movement-based condition. So what we want to talk about today is definitely how to move properly to prevent some episodes of mechanical low back pain from happening. And the first thing we want to talk about is definitely how to bend properly. Everyone brushes their teeth, washes their hands, cooks, cleans, and a lot of people sit all day, and a lot of those positions are in a flex posture. So the first thing you want to do is learn how to bend. And the best way to do that is to implement a hip hinge bend technique, and Bronson's going to demonstrate on how to do that. So what I want Bronson to do is just bend over and touch his toes the wrong way. The wrong way. So here his back is rounded in this position. It's putting a lot of stress and a lot of pressure inside his discs. Come on and stand back up. And in a hip hinge method, let's going to use the pole as an example. So in this example, I'm going to hold with one, yep. In this example, he's going to bend using just his hips. So as he does that, his back is completely neutral. And no real load is going through there except through the hip. As you can see, the pole is completely straight, and it's going along his spine in a neutral way. Come back up. So if I were to hold this pole here and he was going to bend improperly, go ahead and bend the wrong way, that pole comes off, right? It's no longer straight. His back is rounded, and this is the wrong way. This is putting too much load on his spine. Come back up. And one more time, hip hinge and bend only through the hip, and you can also put a slight bend in the knee. So the next time you want to bend over, and imagine if Bronson is over at the sink, right? And he was going to wash his hands or brush his teeth, he's going to kind of stick his backside back out. He's going to bend his knees slightly. He can wash his hands here with just bending at his hip and knee instead of constantly bending at his low back. And you can implement this technique throughout your entire day. Like I said, cooking, cleaning, washing your hands, brushing your teeth, picking up something from the table. You can always implement this hip hinge bend technique throughout your entire day. And that's the safest way to bend. And what I see most commonly is people bending improperly over and over and over again, and it just repetitively puts too high of a load on your spine, resulting in low back pain.
And it's that same movement, not just in the bending over, but in sitting in a chair.
Sitting in a chair.
I see people stand like this sometimes.
Standing in a flex posture, yeah.
Like that. Okay.
Driving long distances, also another
Right.
big thing that we see. And also gardening is a huge movement pattern activity that we
People
see.
go like this.
People want to bend over and pull weeds improperly all the time. And again, Bronson's bending with a rounded back instead of hinging more at the hips here. And some exercises that you could do that safely load your spine without putting too much load on it we're going to demonstrate a few. So the first thing that you can do is a plank. So let's get that on the floor. Good. And what you're going to do is you're just going to implement a neutral spine in an isometric fashion. So go down on your elbows and come and there you go. Good. So here you can kind of see exactly what we've been talking about the whole time, how his spine is completely straight. Good. So his spine is completely neutral. It's not rounded or he's constantly flexing, like say with a crunch. But his spine is isometrically neutral, it's straight, and this is a perfectly safe exercise for people to do at home. What Bronson and I would recommend is probably about like an 8 to 10 second hold, maybe 10 times or so. That's a perfectly neutral and great exercise you can perform at home.
Right, because we're talking about not just understanding how to move your hips, but also how to keep your core tight so that when you're doing movements, you're bracing that lower back, not just moving the joints around with no support.
Exactly, how to safely load the spine and increase the strength to stabilize exactly what we're trying to accomplish. Another really good exercise that we can do is a bird dog. Let's go on all fours. So in this one, you want your knees to be under your hips and your wrists to be under your shoulders, and you are going to safely pick up opposite leg and arm at the same time. Good. So again, his spine is nice and neutral, and he's isometrically holding this, like there's no movement in his spine. He's going to be bracing. Perfect. This is loading his spine perfectly. He's not repetitively bending like if he was brushing his teeth, for example, again. Again, holding it for about 8 to 10 seconds, and then again, you can switch sides and do the other arm and leg. Perfect. Holding it for about 8 to 10 seconds. And this is all body weight exercise. This is something easy that you can do at home without going, doing a repetitive crunch on a weighted machine, something you can do here at CrossFit in their gym. Another really easy one that you can accomplish is just a side bridge. So facing the camera. Good. Here.
It's like a side
Usually,
bridge.
yep, usually stack over. Yep. And he's just going to pick his butt straight up off the ground. Good. And again, he's just perfectly straight. We're not putting any real load through the spine. It's all really engaging the muscles surrounding their spine, surrounding his spine. Again, just low spinal load and high muscular load. That's what we want to see in low back and exercises with people who have low back pain, because a lot of the times most exercises are going to put too high of a spinal load, and we want high muscular load.
Okay. And those are good things to do, guys, if you're having issues already, because they're not going to put you in a position that's going to cause more pain. But there are also things that you can do if you're not having pain and you feel like you want to get a little bit stronger. You want to make sure that you're going to prevent any low back issues.
Exactly. We want to keep you out of pain and safely rehab you away from the pain without constantly having reoccurring episodes. And Bronson can definitely implement those tools with proper isometric spinal loading exercises.
Okay, cool. If you guys have any questions about any other injuries that you'd like to hear us talk about, or low back pain, and if you're having low back pain and you need someone to help you fix it, Morrison Chiropractic is in Ellicott City, right down past Walmart. You can contact us. We can give you their information, or you can look them up online. All right, thanks a lot, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Take care.